Hey everyone, I am going to show you how I've been mixing and blending different flours to have the best results for my sourdough baking and for that whole sourdough journey that I've been on. I love my sourdough and my sourdough starter. It's been amazing since I do have to eat gluten-free. I have celiac disease and this has been revolutionary for me. I did not create this flour blend. I found a recipe for it from the recipes that I have been following. This lady created it. Her name is Kim. All of the credit goes to her, and I will leave a link to her website for this recipe so that way you guys can follow along with that. Today I'm going to be following the 5 cups. That's what it approximately makes. She has one for 10 cups and I think 20 cups, but she also has like this little slider thing that you can do like 3 cups. Please go ahead and check her link in the website down below because I do not want to take any credit for this. I do not want to take any credit away from her work and all of the amazing baking genius that she is. I'm going to show you the flours that I used, and everything that I purchased was from her links or her like alternative links that she had. I'm going to show you that stuff that I purchased and do a little mixing. Here we go. For the potato starch, I am using the Bob's Red Mill, but I did just buy a new brand that had a larger quantity. It's I think like a 10-pound bag instead of these like 22-ounce bags. This is the white rice flour. It is super fine. Tapioca flour, same brand. This is their xanthan gum. Yes. Whey protein isolate also goes in the blend. This is the brand. This itself is not in the flour blend, but I just wanted to show it because a lot of the recipes that I use call for psyllium husks or psyllium husk powder, and this is the brand that I use. So I do tweak the recipe a little bit and make it my own. I also add the King Arthur measure for measure flour because every time that I have just used the blend itself, it is really sticky and I end up having to use a lot more flour, whereas this is a little bit of a heavier flour and a heavier blend. This alone for baking is what I have been using. It was good, but not great. This other blend has definitely leveled up the gluten-free baking and the gluten-free living. Food is now like fluffier again with the sourdough, of course, with the sourdough. It's light, but it also is really filling. And I have fallen in love with this blend and just with food again. I am a huge foodie. I've always been a foodie, and I feel like food had just kind of, you just kind of accept that you're not gonna have fluffy bread again. You're gonna have more of like the dense breads. The breads and everything are a little more bleak. It's not quite as good. It doesn't taste as well. It's usually gritty. Now, food is amazing again. Like I said, it's got the fluff. It's got the lightness. It's got the airiness to it. It has no grittiness taste. It's good. It's really, really good. I feel like even for people who are not gluten-free, if they were to try this, they would never even know that it was gluten-free. Never even know. Let's get started. Going in first with the potato starch, 285 grams, 250 grams of super fine white rice flour, 75 grams tapioca starch, 75 grams of whey protein isolate. I'm trying to make it so you could see. I had to change the angle a little bit so that way you could see the little scale. 15 grams of xanthan gum. Now where I tweak it a little bit is I add the King Arthur gluten-free measure for measure flour. I normally just eyeball this, but because I have my scale out, I will just see where it weighs. That looks good to me. So I used 50 grams of the gluten-free 1-to-1 measure flour. Then I'm just going to use a whisk and whisk it all together gently. This is my flour jar here. I'm just going to move this into this jar here. This is the storage container that I use for it. It has like a little pop top there, and then it has like an airtight seal. It also came with the little scoop that's in there. Now I'm all stocked and refreshed on flour. This is my sourdough starter. I just fed it a couple hours ago, so it is starting to get nice and a little bubbly there. This flour blend right here, I do not use that to feed my starter. I have tried that before. I kept my regular starter and then took a little bit of the starter out and put it in a separate jar to see if that would work for the feeding. And it does not work very well for that. I only use that flour for actually baking. What I use to feed my starter is that King Arthur 1-for-1 gluten-free flour. This is what I actually use to feed my starter with. So it has this as its feeding, and when I go to bake, then I use the flour mixture blend there. It has been working perfectly. So good. And yeah, now the actual flour blend, price-wise, is pretty expensive. I'm not gonna lie, it's pretty expensive. But since it's a hobby that I'm really into, I'm okay with investing my money into it because it's also food. I'm more than happy to do that, but I also know that not everybody can afford to do the blends. So this is also a good choice. The only thing that I have found with this is it is a little bit more dense. It's not quite as airy, and it does retain the water a little bit more too. So I feel like I have to cook it longer than what the recipes usually say, or else it turns out gummy. But it is a good alternative if I wasn't doing the flour blend, and that is what I would be using and have used. That is going to be it for this video. Thanks for hanging out. I hope you guys have a good day. Leave me a comment down below. Don't forget to subscribe, as well as hit the notification bell so you know when I post my next video. Thanks again for watching, and I will see you in my next one. Bye!